Hello everyone, and welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I am Pastor CJ Kent, and the game you are looking at on your screens right now is called Timberborn, a post-apocalyptic city builder where unfortunately mankind has failed to survive on the planet Earth and left quite a mess behind. But the beavers have risen up to take man's place and clean up the planet. So that is what we're here to play tonight. You know that every Friday night is Free For All Friday here on the channel, where I just play what has been fun for me lately. And obviously it's Saturday. I had a church event, so we had to move the Free For All Friday to Saturday. And so here it is. Hopefully you guys are ready. This game is pretty awesome. It is still in early access, and I believe it is actually on sale right now for like $19.99 instead of the normal $25 or so that it is currently. And as they add features, the price is just going to go up. So if you like what you see, if you love city builders, if you're a fan of beavers, definitely check this game out. And yeah, we're actually going to start a brand new colony tonight. And I'm going to warn you guys, I have about 3 hours in this game so far. Really just like testing it out, feeling out, testing the waters, feeling them out. And yeah, so I'm definitely not going to do everything perfect. I can pretty much promise that. And I certainly don't have everything unlocked. So with all that said, the expectations are set, and let's just dive in and get started on our new colony. So we have two different factions we can choose from. You have the Folktails. This is basically your classic beaver, what you would expect a sentient beaver to be. Easygoing, hardworking, expert farmers, they respect nature, all that kind of stuff. And then you have the Iron Teeth, which I don't have unlocked yet. I have seen someone play this super briefly, and I know they're a lot different as far as like their breeding methods and all of that. So it's it would be a new challenge to get invested there. But again, like I said, it's not unlocked yet, not even an option for us right now. So we're going to be the Folktails, obviously. We are also going to be going on one of the starter friendly maps, just because I kind of like the look of it, and it's the plains. The beautiful thing here for me is, even though there's not like a ton of water sources all over the place, you have lots of room to build, and all of this open low land gives you an opportunity to kind of flood areas and make some of the higher areas a little more fertile, or like you can really channelize the rivers and make them overflow and make the lowlands fertile while still like corralling the water in like a higher, that you'll see as we go. It's a whole thing, but this is the map that I want to go with, not just because it's beginner friendly, but also because it is a 256 by 256. That's the largest map size that they currently have available in the game. I don't know if there's plans to make bigger ones, but this is a pretty good sized map, so that's the plan. That said, I've played enough to know like how to get the beavers to survive initially, so I am going to go with a normal playthrough and not the easy, just because like I think I can handle it. This might be famous last words, but we're gonna give it a try, and let's get started. If building is marked as solid, okay, so this is, every time I've loaded the game, this has basically been the tip. I have a feeling they have code in the game. Like I said, it's still early access, so I have a feeling they have a code in the game for a rotating tip that pulls from a list of a bunch of different tips, and that list currently contains just this tip. which is a good tip. If a building is marked as solid, you can build on top of it, which is awesome. But yeah, I would love to see some new tips coming out, and that might just be a case of waiting for content creators such as myself to play the game and actually come up with some good tips that they can put in there. It would actually be really cool to see like a tip and then who it comes from. Like if it's a specific content creator thing, like that would be awesome. And here we are. We have our starter building. The game starts paused and it asks you to name your settlement. So I could go with something like Beavertown or Beaverton. That seems a little bit on the nose, and it's been done. Like I've seen it done. So yeah, what should we call this? You know what? I've been to a no, we go with like a woods theme on the channel. That's kind of been the thing, like woods, forest, that sort of thing. So we're gonna go with Timbertown. That will be the name of our settlement. Welcome everyone to Timbertown. Okay, so here we have the beavers coming out. I'm going to hit space, that pauses the game. And we're gonna take a look, see what we've got. Up here, it tells you how many beavers you actually have. So we have 8 adults and 4 children. We can see that child, and then, you know, a bunch of adults in and around here. We have our starting building and yeah, some fertile land off to the side here with some bad water kind of flowing into it, it looks like. Now, thankfully, okay, that's flowing away from us. So there's a bad water spring up here, flows down this channel into the water here, and then out and off the map here. And there's another bad water spring over here, which again flows down and into the water and out. And then we have good water flowing from here all the way down this way and from here. We have 2 water sources and 2 bad water sources. Oh, this looks like a great place to fill up with water, actually. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Trying to see like what's around. So I know the first thing I want to do is put down some paths. So you have a build limit, and I'll show you that real fast. You zoom out. That yeah, see, it's basically saying too far from, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it. It's too far from a district and cannot be reached by builders. Build more paths or a new district. We're definitely not to the new district stage. We're going to be building paths to get us started. And I want to try to stay orderly. I, just from my own personal experience, know how quickly chaos and disorder can kind of take over. So we are going to do paths from the very beginning in all 4 directions. And to facilitate that, we're going to surround the main building in paths, because it only has this one entrance. So if I want paths going in all 4 directions, I have to have paths all the way around and then connect them up and all that. So that's kind of the idea there. And we'll bring a path down this way. Oh, perfect. That goes right to food. Actually, this is awesome. So this is a natural dam. It's like mud and sticks and stuff, but it's blocking the water flow. So one thing that we could do almost right off the bat is have a beaver come destroy this, and then we'll have water flow into here. And then we can build a dam, like our version of a dam right here, to prevent that water from flowing out during a drought. So that's probably definitely something we're going to do very, very quickly, because the droughts can get pretty rough. Also, there's a bit of a lip right here. So another thing that we could potentially do is put a dam in all the way down to here, or we could do it like further back. But wherever we do it, it'll hold water into this whole thing back to here, which is also awesome. So that's kind of the plan for that. So those are definitely things that we're going to want to look at doing very early on. And I made a mistake. So right here is your demolition tool. This is how you do buildings and paths also. You also have rubble cleanup and something for deleting resources. A lot of times trees, bushes, whatever get in the way, and you have to delete them, and that is actually okay. We're not going to do much of that right now because we need everything we have, but we will get there. So yeah, the very first thing that we are going to want is a lumberjack flag. And now that we have our path down to where the trees are, use the R key to rotate. I'm going to plop this down, and that's actually not going to go very fast, so I'm going to do a second one. And that will get 2 of my beavers to be lumberjacks in order to cut down these pine trees. Now, the other thing that we're going to want is to actually tell them to cut those down, because otherwise they'll just stand there. So you go to this section, it says cut trees, that's all it does. There's a marked tree cutting area and unmarked tree cutting area. Very, very simple menu. Really pretty self-explanatory. And we are absolutely going to mark just everything here for cutting. Okay. Yeah, ideally very quickly we will get ourselves a forester and start replenishing that area. But yeah, not yet. Also, Q and E. So WASD moves you around. You can enable edge scrolling, but it's not enabled by default. And then Q and E are your camera rotations. So there you go. You can also hold the right mouse button and just move your mouse, and it will do your rotation and your up and down. And obviously a scroll wheel is for zoom. So those are basic camera controls if you're trying to learn the game. The other thing, storage. We're going to need a log storage, and we'll go ahead and start with a large pile just so we've got the room. We're going to make sure that's not in the green area because we need the green area to grow stuff. So that'll be for a bit later. And we'll go ahead and let the beavers get started with all of that. Now the other thing that we want to do, the reason we went with this first is just because like you need wood for absolutely everything, which makes sense. You're beavers. Well, you're not a beaver, but you're playing as a group of beavers, and everything just costs wood. That's how it works. Alright, so now 2 of these will be employed by beavers who will then go start cutting down trees. They can store a few logs in the lumberjack flags directly, and then once this is built, they can store the extras there. So that's kind of the idea for that. Now the other thing that we want to build right away is a water pump, because our beavers are going to get thirsty. And in fact, see, I don't love that positioning. You know, it's better than the alternative though. So let's go ahead and pop that in there. And we're going to go ahead and make a couple water storages. These small tanks is what we have right now. Okay, and that will help us not die of thirst immediately, which is also of benefit. But before they start building any of that stuff, we have to finish our log stuff. And this can take a minute, so one of the things I love to do is actually just speed up the game. You got your speed controls up here. Okay, so now our large pile is built. It can store more than just logs, which is why it has this question mark. It's like, what am I supposed to store? You click on the question mark. You click on the pile, it opens this menu. You click on the question mark, and down here, next to the little log icon, you can click on logs. Now we're going to do that in a second, but we'll see whatever else it stores. Also does dirt, does metal blocks, does planks, it does scrap metal, and it does treated planks. Right now we just have logs, so that's what we're storing. Alright, so now that's done, they're going to start bringing their extra logs down here to try to build the water pump, which is great because we have 0 water and we definitely need water. That would be a great thing to have. Okay, so now we have a water pump. Beaver will go work there during normal working hours, but it's nighttime right now, so they're probably going to sleep. And they have no homes yet, so they just sleep outside on the ground. Not ideal, but you know, first day. What do you want for the first day? Alright, so now we have a beaver pumping water, so we have access to a little bit for our beavers to drink, and we're making these storage tanks, so a little bit can be, okay, so again, basically so we can store more than a little bit. So again, you click on the water tank, it can store more than just water. You click on the question mark, down here is water. It can also store maple syrup, which is awesome. Also antidotes, bad water, biofuel, catalyst, and extract. Most of those things are pretty advanced resources that we don't need to worry about yet. Maple syrup is kind of like a medium resource. We'll get to that. And water is obviously what we want for right now. Okay, so now we have logs coming in. Man, they're chewing up this forest quickly. So that's a problem. We'll fix that later. We also have water. So now we want to consider food. So let's go to the food icon here and get a gatherer flag, which we will place right here. And again, it only employs 1, so we're going to get a second one. And then we're going to want a storage, and this is going to be a warehouse. We're going to grab a medium warehouse, and I'll just go ahead and note, normally you don't want them to carry stuff overly far because it takes extra time, but putting it here would put it right on top of a green area, a fertile area, which is not ideal. We kind of want to save the fertile areas for growing things, if at all possible. So we're actually going to do something I don't love just yet. And we're going to place this here. And I say I don't love it because my ultimate plan for the area is not for these to be here. But yeah, we'll work on that at a later date. So that's there for now. And we'll let them go ahead and get all of that built. No, for the gathering, I don't believe you have to set them to gather. They just know that they're supposed to grab the berries and stuff. Okay, perfect. We're starting to store up water. Alright, we've got a second tank, so let's go ahead and assign it also to water. Thank you. Alright, we have gatherer flags, and yeah, they're directly starting together. So now we're gathering food, we have water, we're gathering lumber, and it's all good. Now, one thing I want to check with these flags, we can in fact harvest some of these trees from that range. This blue line is the range of the lumberjack flag. It covers all of this area, but not all of this. So we might have to build a temporary one over here just to finish cutting these down here in a little bit. We're still working on our warehouse. And then the last thing I wanted to do immediately, like I said, was demolish this. So that we're going to go ahead and set. And sometime tomorrow, one of the beavers, I believe, will go ahead and take care of that. Alright, we've got our second gatherer flag up. So they're working on gathering food. That's great. Okay, we now have our warehouse. Click on the warehouse, opens this menu, click on the thing, and warehouses can store a whole bunch of stuff. So get used to building warehouses because you'll need a lot of them. Right now, the only thing we have to store is berries. So we're going to click on berries, and everything that they're gathering that doesn't fit in the flags will get moved over to here. Okay, so they demolished that, and this filled in. It spread more of our fertile ground out this way. So the closer the water is, the more fertile land spreads from it. And that's kind of the idea. So now, what we want to do is go into landscaping. And we have a lot of structures that we can build eventually. But right now, the only thing we have is a dam, which is perfect because that's all we need. It's 20 logs, but it's well worth it. We are going to put this right here. And we're going to let them work on that. So that will give us a little bit of drought resistance. So even if the river dries up, this is still going to be full of water for quite a while. It will dry up from evaporation eventually, but usually the droughts will be over by then, which will keep all of this area fertile, and we can continue farming in this area even though there's a drought going on. So this is like a perfect thing to have right next to you from the beginning. Okay, and the dam is finished, and we're very happy about that. Yeah, the gatherers cover all of the berry bushes. That's also perfect. We do have quite a few trees up here, so we may expand up that direction eventually. Looking at like where we will ultimately end up going with everything. I think this would be a good place to ultimately farm because we can put water in here. We can use explosives to actually dig a channel and let this like get flooded. I'm thinking we might do lumber in this direction. We'd have to do like we'd have to get a lot of water back here though. I don't know how practical that one is. Maybe we'll do lumber over this way eventually. But right now, shorter term plans, we need to start gathering some science points so we can unlock some of these more advanced structures. Because eventually, we'll get bad water waves and like pretty severe droughts, and it's gonna mess some things up. So let's get into science. The only thing we can build right now is an inventor. We're going to grab this right here. And we're going to put it right here. And once that's constructed, it will employ a beaver who will start generating science points for us relatively slowly. This will not be the last one of these that we make, and eventually we'll want more robust buildings for this, such as the observatory. But that's way off. Alright, now the other thing that we should probably address at this point is housing. Our beavers need some places to live. They don't love sleeping on the ground. I mean, they can. They have their basic needs met, water and food and whatnot. For now, food is going to become a problem quickly, so we're going to address that here in a second. But yeah, what they really need are some houses. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I gotta put the lumber towards the food first, because you can clearly see the berries are almost completely gathered, and that's not good. So let's go ahead and start that. We're gonna go to food. Efficient farmhouse is what we are looking for. We're gonna grab this. Kind of gives us an area that this covers. And ideally, we want to cover as much of the fertile area here as we possibly can. And more in this direction is what I'm thinking. So we are actually going to do a little resource destruction already. First thing is getting rid of this building. And then we need to get rid of this bush. I think that might be it, or I might need to do the other one, the little one there too. Okay, so we need... we can actually cancel that one. We need to get rid of this and this. And these. Let's start there and see if that gives us room. I don't think that's going to be enough. We'll go ahead and extend our path those two spaces. Alright, wood is almost gone, so let's go ahead and designate some extra trees for cutting. Okay, so now let's see if the farmhouse will fit here. Like I said, I don't think so. I think we need to get rid of these last two bushes. Here and here. And we're going to go ahead and prioritize these. Not that there's anything else for the builders to work on, but just to make sure that gets done post-haste. Okay, perfect. So now, go ahead and build our farmhouse. Okay, and you can kind of see with that placement, it covers all of the fertile area on this side of the road, and like up in here and all that. So it will give us lots of room for planting crops. And we're actually going to go ahead and make some more paths. right now because I have an idea the size of the plots that I want to make. Now, if these met perfectly, a corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's kind of where we want that to go. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 comes down here. Okay, perfect. And let's go ahead and do that again. Technically, that would be like here. But we'll go off of this one first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's kind of the broader scope. These will kind of meet up right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Yes, this will just kind of come out this way. And yeah, we don't really know where all of that will terminate. So that's kind of where that's at. There'll be a stair. This will be a stair. Technically, there'll be a path here. Alright, well that'll get us started. So now we want to plant some crops, specifically carrots. Why carrots? You might ask. They do good things for the beavers. So if we click on a beaver, shows us their basic needs, their nutrition needs, social life stuff, aesthetics, all kinds of things that you can do to improve the lives of the beavers. Now under nutrition, it shows you all these different things that you can feed into the beaver's diet, and one of them is carrots. And I believe it improves the beavers'... I want to say it's like their lifespan? I wonder if it says. There's an information thing here. So if you hover on this, so this doesn't say. I know there's a place that says. Like I said, this is a whole new thing to me, so I'm not positive exactly where to find that information currently, but I know it's out there somewhere. And the big thing with carrots is they don't need to be cooked in order for the beavers to eat them. So that's kind of a huge thing. So we're going to go ahead and plant a whole mess of these. up here. Basically, as much of this field as we can cover with carrots, that's what we're going to do. With the exception of the path leading to these stairs, because we might need to use those temporarily. Now, it's not going to be a permanent solution, but just in case, I want to make sure that that's open. And then just to make sure that we have plenty of carrots, we're actually going to go through here and plant as many as we can in between all of these berry bushes as well. And eventually we'll get rid of those berry bushes and just do all crops in that area. But that's for later. So let's clear that out and let this run. The other thing we're going to want to do, since they're preparing those, is build ourselves another warehouse, and this one will be for storing carrots. So we'll go ahead and put that there. And we'll let the beavers do their thing. So you'll probably be noticing that lumber is running a bit low. All of these small trees will grow up and they'll be capable of being harvested. And as long as this land is hydrated, the trees cut down here will actually eventually regrow. So, and you can see overnight we've gotten some of the saplings turning into bigger trees. Eventually these stumps will turn into saplings if you don't build over them, and as long as you keep the land hydrated. So that's kind of the big thing there. Also, the reason we left this path open is so we have access to these trees, just in case we need them. Oh, our warehouse is done. So now we want to select carrots as the thing it's storing. That is right here under the basic foods section. And so once the carrots get harvested, we'll be able to grab those. Now that the food situation is basically handled, let's work on getting these beavers some houses, because like they need some homes. Like that much is clear and obvious. So right here is the housing thing. It's like a little open door icon, and the only thing we can build right now are lodges, and that's fine. That's all the beavers are going to need. Right now we have a total of 12 beavers, and each of these lodges provides room for 3 inhabitants. Obviously that's not like a ton of inhabitants, but it's enough. So we build 4 of these, we'll have enough room for all of our current beavers, and if we want new baby beavers, we need to provide some free beds. So we're basically going to need to build about 5 of these, and they're 12 logs each, so this is going to be a project. But obviously a very worthwhile one. So the trick here is going to be in basement. And we're going to start out over here in this outer corner. I'll also point out that the door is on the right hand side right now. You can use the F key to flip which side the door is on. And we're going to do plenty of that. So we're going to do 4 beaver houses. And rotate that. And rotate our camera so we know what we're doing. And we're going to place this here. Place this here, but flip the door off to this side. Now obviously you'll note, hey, these are not connected to paths, and that's correct. We're going to go ahead and add a path to fix that right now. So these will be connected just like that. And yeah, that basically takes care of that little bit of it right there. Now obviously we need more houses than just that to fully supply the needs of our beavers, so we're going to go ahead and place those over here. And we're going to do the same thing with the path. We're just going to add that so they can access these right there. And obviously we don't need that many to begin with. So we're going to take this one and pause it, this one and pause it, and this one and pause it until their population reaches a total of 15. And then we'll unpause one of those to allow for more free beds and more baby beavers to be made. Alright, so let's go ahead and unpause the game and let them kind of do their thing here. And one of the reasons I wanted to focus the growing around here is because this is actually fertilizing all of this soil. So even when we get our first drought, this is going to retain the water that is in there, and these things will be able to continue to grow. Whereas if we like started growing over here, this hydration is not going to reach that far, and so we'd be in a bit of a situation. Now the other thing we should probably also look at is potentially getting some more water storage, and maybe another pump located on a more permanent water source. Just so in the event of potential death by thirst, we have a way to fix that. So let's take a look at doing that right now. Actually, no, I don't really want to pump out of this because you can use up what's in here. And I want to make sure that we don't accidentally do that. Because we're going to need that to keep those crops hydrated. But we can invest in additional water storage to make sure that we have plenty when the time comes. Do I want to do another water pump? You know what? Probably. I think that's probably wise. And this may not be a permanent thing. So we may end up getting rid of that at some point. Just in case. Yeah, let's do 3 more. Okay. Alright, that's got us in a pretty good spot to start with. I don't know when that first drought is coming, but hopefully not too soon. Now the other thing that we want to start looking at is the beaver well-being. So we've got them harvesting logs and, you know, rapidly running out, but that's okay. We have ways to expand our harvesting areas. And we have them gathering water, so they won't go thirsty. We have them growing food, so they won't go hungry. We've given them places to sleep, so they're not out in the cold. So, you know, air is free, but shelter, water, and food are now provided for. The other thing that we need to start looking at is their well-being, their socialization stuff, and what have you. So we start off with 3 options. We have a campfire, which is not a small thing to install, but it provides a lot of well-being and has room for many visitors. Rooftop terrace, which has to be built on a rooftop, and getting beavers to roofs right now is a little bit challenging, so we're gonna wait on that. And then a teeth grindstone. This basically is just a way for them to fix broken teeth when they get those. I have had it happen, and I'm glad to know that there's this when we need it, but we don't need that yet. So we're gonna start with the campfire. Now the thing is, like this thing is big, and apparently you can't build it on a rooftop, which makes sense. You probably shouldn't have fire on top of a roof. So we are just going to go ahead and place this down in here for now. This is not going to be its permanent home by any means. We will definitely be moving this at some point, but for now the beavers need the well-being that it generates, so we're gonna just drop that there. And while they are working, I noticed that we are almost to 50 science. So we need to start looking at what to get with our science. The very first thing I want is a forester. And that's going to be 60 science. So we are saving for that. The other thing that I think is going to be very important very quickly is wooden stairs. Beavers have reached a new well-being record of 3. It's so bad. But I'm glad that they are happier than ever. That's good news. So hopefully, yeah, and they've already made a baby beaver. So we have 12 adults and 1 baby. So that's great. A couple more of those and we'll need to make a new house. And we'll work on that when the time comes. But let's let this run. Yeah, the other thing we want is stairs, but we're going to want planks. Ooh, and already up to 4. Perfect. In order to build these, and also platforms, which again requires some planks. So that's a little bit down the road when we're turning some of our logs into planks. Yeah, definitely forester is the way to go first. And apparently you also need... Interesting. Okay. So you see, that does eventually evaporate. I thought maybe there'd be enough water going through here to force that to fill up. But I guess not, so we're just gonna have to destroy that for now. Alright, this requires planks too. So the thing we probably want here is a floodgate. So when there isn't a drought, we can have the gate down and just let that be full of water. And when there is a drought, we'll throw the gate up to kind of hold the water in. Because right now, the river is not high enough to allow the water to go back into here. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. And we'll let the water flow back in there so our carrots don't die. Doesn't mean we're going to have to accelerate our plans for a more expansive damming option. So let's go ahead and set this up for water. So let's just go ahead and do that now. Believe it or not, I actually want to cross right here. Well, let's start with the one that affects crops. They're going to be smaller scale. And yeah, we'll put path across the top of that. So that's going to be a project and a half, and hopefully we can finish that before there's a drought. But that will help keep all of this area hydrated, not just the area around this little bit here. Alright, 2 baby beavers, that's great. Alright, so let's cancel planting here, 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 and here. Here, here, and probably here and here. Alright, everything else seems to be decently hydrated, so. Okay, so these are finished. Let's make sure that they are also storing water. Yeah, we're starting to harvest some trees down here. One thing we want to do while there's a stump there is connect up that path. Yeah, we've harvested the heck out of that. Now the other thing that we can potentially do is drop another lumberjack flag temporarily over here, so we can get to all of these trees, not just a couple of them. Everyone's sleeping. You got broken teeth, don't you? Oh, you're starving. Why are you starving? Oh, geez, because we have no food. Okay. Time for path expansion. I was concerned that that might become a problem. Okay, so let's drop another gatherer flag up here. And we're going to set that to super high priority. Because while the carrots are growing, we need some more food coming in. Definitely don't want anyone starving. Okay, it looks like the carrots are coming in, so that might not have been necessary, but it does help, so worth it in my mind. But one of the things we're actually also going to do is start getting rid of these berry bushes that are in the way of our carrot production. We'll start with, I don't want to like go ham on them, we'll start there. Alright, beaver well-being has reached 5, that's good. We've got water, we've got some more food stored up, thankfully. And we've got access to wood up here, which we will cut down at some point. Alright, we're getting plenty of carrots from that, so that's brilliant. Shouldn't be any more starving beavers now. Okay, we can only have the 3 workers. So we'll let them kind of do their thing there. Alright, it looks like the damming project is coming along here, which is great. Love to see it. Okay, we've got a drought approaching in 3 days. Yes, pump that water. We are going to need it. And the other thing I'm going to do, which I know is like super counterintuitive, is build the dam here again. And we're going to prioritize it like crazy. I don't think the big one is going to be done in 3 days, but we can at least preserve this area for that first drought, and then we'll get rid of this after the drought. Like I said, the ideal would be to have a floodgate here eventually, but we do not have that yet. Also, we now have enough science to get ourselves a forester, so let's unlock that. Boom, got it. The other thing we're going to need is a lumber mill, because the forester actually requires planks in order to make. And lumber mills require power. So we're going to need a water wheel. Or we could supply it with just beaver power. Which might actually be the better way to go for right now. Because then I can keep this completely away from the fertile areas. This is 50 logs, this is 40 logs. It requires a beaver to run it. If we did a water wheel, probably be looking at something down here. Because like once this dam is complete, the flow of water here is going to slow dramatically. But the flow of water here shouldn't really change that much. I'm saying let's go ahead and place this here. And look at where we would put the lumber mill. Probably right there. And that means we're going to need power transfer stuff here. There we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and let that also get constructed. But that is going to take a minute. Yeah, it seems like lumber is really our limiting factor right now. And that makes total sense. Oh, there's another freshwater source here. I didn't even notice. Well, that's good. Okay, looks like these finally got demolished, so let's make our path. And let's assign some more crops to be planted in the areas that we cleared. and do a little bit more resource destruction. Obviously, this will need to go. These will need to go. That all will need to go. I guess we'll start with that. Yeah, trading berries for carrots is definitely a good move. The carrots provide benefits to beavers, whereas the berries just fill their stomachs, but impart no specific benefits. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of all of these berry bushes, basically. We can fill this whole area with carrots. Make sure we're not, like, missing any. We totally were. Okay, I think that's all of them. Okay, so now, there's not enough trees here to warrant 2 lumberjack flags. We're going to get rid of one of them. And rebuild that over here. So we can finish off this little patch here. Okay, and now we have some beavers with broken teeth. That slows down the log collection process like a crap ton. So let's go into well-being and get the teeth grinder and get that placed as one of our permanent well-being structures. And we're actually going to place that one right here. And we do want to prioritize this. But not as much as the dam, so we're going to move that up in priority just a little bit. Oh, the dam's already done, so let's go ahead and fully prioritize that then. Okay, drought started. We're going to quickly see our river dry up, but because we have this dam here, this section will hold. And there we go. As you can see, all of our carrots are still hydrated, which was the goal there. Now, we're going to have to survive with what water we have managed to pump, but that's okay. It's interesting that during the droughts, even the bad water sources dry up. This goes pretty deep, actually. So right now, we're going to pause during said drought. Only 1.1 days. I think our little dammed off pond area and that, like, mix of regular water and bad water might actually be the only green areas left on the map, and it looks like it is. This, which will dry up here in a minute, and this, which will not. This should at least last until the drought is over. .6 days. Alright, down to 139 water. So far this is not too bad. But I do look forward to having this dam finished. Will give us a much better scenario overall. Alright, looks like drought's over. We're waiting for the water to start flowing down to us. Taking its time. There we go, here's the main source. That's gonna heat up. Start flowing even faster. Okay, so now we're actually gonna destroy the dam. That just saved our lives. Which is kind of hilarious. Wow, that like super filled it. Alright, beaver well-being is at 6. A new high score for us. It's good. Okay, so this area is pretty well depleted. We can now get rid of the extra flag here. Because one will be more than enough to maintain what little is left here, and we're going to need to set up a flag up here. Yeah, we'll just pop it in right there. And we're going to have them cut down all of this. And those aren't going to grow back, but that's okay. And we'll have them cut down all of this. Those will grow back as long as the land is hydrated when they are cut. And it looks like we missed a couple bushes yet, so let's get those officially deleted here. But then we'll go ahead and plant some more carrots in the spaces that have been freed up. Okay, so right now the water is flowing really rapidly through this last little bit that we don't have dammed. Which is awesome. We are happy to see that. Looks like we made some progress on our water wheel. Let's increase the priority on that ever so slightly. And let's go ahead and plant the last couple spots with carrots. Now we're going to go ahead and get rid of a couple more of these bushes, the ones that are in the way of the paths. Alright, so it looks like water's going good, looks like food's going good. We almost have our drought solution completed here. Yeah, doing well. We're working on setting up a plank industry. Now that we have the forester unlocked. And we want to... We want to go ahead and start unlocking some of the other stuff that we think that we're going to need, like wooden stairs. Those are going to be huge. And we're also going to want platforms. Almost have enough science for. Almost there. Got it. Okay, so now we have platforms and stairs. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and do our path real quick. Well, the majority of this is stumps. Okay, perfect. We definitely want to set up our forester here very soon. And I think the starting location for that's probably going to be like this area. Up in here. Alright, this we need to like hyper prioritize. We need this dam to be done. Starving? Why are you starving? There's tons of food. Makes no sense. Please go eat. Come on. Okay, game's done. This is awesome. We can see that it has built up the level of the water ever so slightly and is flowing through as it should right here. Plenty of water flow still for the water wheel. No, I keep forgetting about our population. So we're at 14 adults, but we have no baby beavers. Let's go ahead and unpause all of these. Okay, and now we're going to start looking... Well, no, we need the planks before we can look at where to put a forester. Thing to do in range. Where's that? Okay, so since that's the case, go ahead and pause this, and we'll let you go do something else. Construction lacks materials is not a unheard of thing. In fact, let's go ahead and build an extra lumberjack flag up here, so we can do this a little bit faster. Alright, now we have plenty of empty beds for the beavers to fill with beaver babies. And we have a little bit of drought proofing, so that is excellent. Now let's look at the paths again. Okay, so let's actually look at building another dam. And this one's going to be for more of the forestry side to keep this area hydrated. Although there's some other structures we might need in order to accomplish this. And it's going to be a levee. We need about 20 more science. Alright, so hold off on that. Okay, now we're making planks, it looks like. So what we need is a storage for that. So we're going to create a large pile. And we're just going to plop that right here. We're going to let them make that, and we're going to dedicate that one to planks. So as we're able to build planks, we'll get them stored up there. Planks, perfect. Alright, so far so good. Making some planks. Now we're going to want to start looking at the forester and exactly where we want to put that. And I'm thinking somewhere out here is going to be the ideal positioning for this structure. Okay, so that's basically where that's going to end up going. Okay, so Forester's going to go somewhere out here. And we'll temporarily connect up the paths if we need to make that work. Yeah, I think out here is going to be a great place for it. Okay, and we're past the point where the science that we needed for the levee. We're going to go ahead and unlock that. And we're going to build us some levees. And we could probably not bother, but I'm going to do that one anyway. No, it's a waste of resources for right now. That. I think we are going to need that solid connection though. So, go back into landscaping. Although we are going to kind of need a path over that, so... The levees are actually cheaper than, like, platforms. So we'll just go ahead and do the levees for all of this space here. And basically this space here. And we'll do dams for the rest. Okay, and this is going to help hold back water to keep our tree area hydrated. And it's going to be quite a project, so I don't expect this to be done soon. Okay. This is going to be our main priority, though. Okay, we've got a drought on the way. That's fine. Okay, now, yeah, we're gonna have to temporarily do paths to make this part of the whole thing here. We're gonna go right along the shore. Okay, that fixes that. And we're gonna want to plant some trees. Alright, now birch takes 9 days to grow and is only worth 1 log each. Pine takes 12 days to grow and is worth 2 logs each. Chestnut trees take 24 days and are worth 4 logs each. Maple takes 28 days and are worth 6 logs each. And oaks take 30 days but are worth 8 logs each. So, birch is obviously the fastest growing, and we're going to use this as our ratio to figure out which tree we want to plant. 9 days per log. So 2 logs for 12 days, that's 6 days per log, that's a lot better. And this maintains that 6 day per log ratio. The maple... So yeah, pine and chestnut are on an even playing field. 6 days per log. Maple changes it up a little bit. Only 4 extra days for 2 more logs, so 3 for 14. It's almost 5 days per log, but not quite. And then 30 for 8, 15 for 4. Yeah, so these two are the most efficient, but they are going to take a long time to show up. Birch is really just not worth it at all, because it doesn't produce any extra products like resin or sap or anything like that. or chestnuts, and obviously it's just very slow growth for the amount of logs that you're getting. Pine is a good option to start with, so we're going to start there. And I think we're going to do basically this whole area in pine. And then we'll do chestnuts here. And probably maple back here. And obviously some of these aren't going to grow. In fact, we're just going to cancel the maples for now and stick to the pine and chestnut. Which I'm thinking should be just fine for what we're trying to accomplish. We are also going to get rid of this lumberjack flag. And we're going to move it and a friend down here. Well, at least one for now. Maybe more later. Okay, since you have nothing to do, let's go ahead and pause this structure. Let you move on with your life. Alright, we're doing pretty good here. Pretty solid indeed. Alright, and while this is empty, I'm actually going to demolish it. We're going to make a new log pile closer to the actual logs. In fact, we'll make a couple of those. And we will go ahead and fill out our path here a little bit. Alright, how are we doing? We've got 8 beds left, so plenty of room for population expansion. Looks like food is doing well. Water is also doing pretty good, it seems. Got about a day left before the drought happens, but we have our new and improved damming strategy here, so that should keep all of this area hydrated. So up here, all the carrots, this area. He's got an injury. Okay. So there's another well-being structure that we're going to need to deal with injuries. And it is a medical bed. It takes 80 science to unlock. So we need to wait for the science to unlock that. But that's going to be our next unlock for sure. I'm hoping the levee project is completed by the time that we need, by the time the next drought comes, so that all of this area stays hydrated as well. But I guess we'll see how that goes. Alright, here comes the drought. Okay. You can see this holds. Which is great. It's keeping a lot of our area hydrated, especially the crop fields, which is the big thing. And we can actually still pump water with one of our pumps, which is also kind of awesome. It does shut down our plank production, which is less great, but even with the levee finished, that's still going to be a thing. So. Alright, looks like we got about another 3 days of the drought, so hopefully we're good to go. Yes, we know you don't have power, obviously. Building max workers, which one? Oh, yeah, the lumberjack flag is fine. Does not need workers. Alright, lots of these trees have been cut down. Things to in range. Who's that? Yeah, the forester, because this is not hydrated currently. And that's fine. You're just gonna hang out. Hydration is coming, buddy. Okay, we've got science for our medical tent, so we're going to do that. And this will be our second well-being building. And we're just going to toss that right there. What else do we have access to here? Rooftop terrace, teeth grinding. We could eventually get a shower. Right now it's not like super necessary, but... Thirsty? Dehydrated. Well, there is water for you, bud, so... Alright, drought has officially ended. That's great. This dam worked like a charm, so love that. We have a much larger area hydrated for us. Fantastic. I am a little concerned that once we build this, it's going to prevent this from operating. There we go. Now our forester has something to do. We'll plant some trees. Keep the bad water back. Thank you. Alright, we've got some trees getting planted. That's perfect. We love that. I think we do want some maple to get planted. So let's go ahead and do that as well. Let's try going down to here. I don't want it to be like too crazy, but we can do a little bit. Right, go get some water. Alright, so the other thing I want to unlock is this next level of platforms. It's 150 science, so I'm just going to have to be patient on that, I guess. Go ahead and move these up in the priority list here. Actually, I want to go ahead and rotate these because that's not the way I want them to be facing. There we go. Again, let's move these up in the priority list here. Alright, so you need to store logs. No question there. And you are a bit more of a question. 2 logs. We could do planks. Yeah, let's go ahead and move our plank storage over here. And we're going to set this to empty. And once it's empty, we'll get rid of this building. And there we go. Perfect. Still waiting on that science. It'll get there eventually. 3 empty beds left, so still good there. Alright, so far so good. Now the interesting thing here is we cut these down and it does not look like they're growing back. So that might be old information or just flat out false information, that they'll grow back as long as they're hydrated. It doesn't look like that's the case. So it kind of looks like the only way to get trees back is to install a forester and have them plant a new sapling for you. Which kind of makes a little bit more sense in my mind. Okay, let's go ahead and pause this. So he can just go do something else. Destroy this lumberjack flag, because we don't really need that anymore. There are going to be a couple more trees in this area. That's fine. We'll leave them be. Kind of seems like there might not be any more trees in this area though, so let's go ahead and demolish this. And let's start looking at another crop type. So the next thing to do would be probably potatoes. Although we could do sunflower seeds. Okay, so right now he's getting 10% strength, looks like. No, working speed. And 5% movement speed. And some of that is coming from the carrot. And I don't know where the rest of that's coming from. So let's click on the actual thing here. 48, 7%, 3. Okay, days to grow 4 can be eaten raw. Basic need hunger, nutrition, carrots. Gathered by efficient farmhouse. Okay. I really wish I could see where exactly it tells you what everything does. Might be the managed settlement thing. Population, housing, workplace, storage, power, well-being. Migration and distribution. Okay, can't get all required materials. Okay, it's not constructed yet is the problem. Needs logs and planks. And we're low on logs. Which, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, anyway, like I was saying. Potatoes. We don't have any logs, do we? We're literally going to have to wait for some of this stuff to grow. For these last couple things. How many logs do bears take up? Literally just one. So what I want to do if we can get 2 staircases here, and we're gonna like super prioritize these. So when we get our first logs, we can get those, and we can do a lumberjack flag up here and grab the stuff up there. And we will just normal, like high, but not like super high. Prioritize that. And of course, there's 2 logs here, we just can't get to them. Okay, and it looks like we are pretty much full up on carrots and full up on berries, which is great. Good to be full up on both. Right now we're waiting for one of these 3 saplings to grow up. We could also wait for these potentially to grow up, but I don't see that happening super soon. And these will get us through the initial times, and then these 2 will be supply us with a lot more resources down the road. And then once we have stairs up here, we might actually end up moving the forester up here, along with the lumberjack legs. And probably like a tapper also, to get the resin and maple syrup and chestnuts. Yeah, these have the planks that they need, they just need the one log to be finished. This is a fun little wall to have hit. But at least we had the forester going before we hit it. That's the important thing. I was thinking about starting up maybe potatoes. But yeah, like I know sunflower seeds are another need. We might start there. Potatoes you have to grill. Chestnuts you have to grill. Batter duck you grill. And bread, cat's tail crackers, and maple pastries are obviously a little more involved because you need flour and all that. So yeah, sunflower is probably the next crop to make. So we can go ahead and plant those. And we're going to do that over here. Basically just this whole area. But we will go ahead and cancel some of that. We can get another of the farmhouses in here. First of all, we'll need to cancel that because there's going to be a path there. Right? No. That's totally wrong. Totally wrong. Never mind. Do it there. Another efficient farmhouse. And pop that down right there. Okay. And I may eventually move this one, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, what's wrong with this? Not connected to a district center. So we did manage to get one log. So we just need one more log and that'll be connected. Yeah, one of these trees grew up. So we're really just waiting for these trees to grow. Okay, we're actually going to pause this to make sure logs don't go in there next time we get some. Okay. Now, we need to assign some areas to cut. And while we're in this menu, let's unassign some areas for cutting, because they're kind of old news now. Basically everything over here. All of the paths. And these eventually won't be paths, but... that... Go ahead and add what is going to be here. Like, obviously these ones aren't coming back. Nothing's growing there, nothing's growing there. Really just that one spot. And now this new harvesting area. Let's... put that there. With a couple more stairs and paths connecting. And kind of again. With paths connecting. That'll give us access to some more trees. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and prioritize all of these. Alright, since we're doing so much prioritizing, let's use the actual priority tool. It's gonna be a lot less painful. Alright, perfect. I don't know how far these trees are going to take us. I think these are birch. Yeah, so they don't give us very much. Alright, let's unpause this. We're gonna need more planks soon. Alright, let's mark all of these things for cutting. And technically, let's just mark all of this for cutting too, so when we get there, we're good for that. I guess we'll have to make another lumberjack flag also, a little bit closer to... Yeah, we'll do that. Of course, that might make it impossible for us to get to some of the other stuff. So let's demolish this super fast. Actually, let's make sure we can build another lumberjack flag behind it. We can. Great. So now, let's get rid of this. Yes. And we're going to add a path. Super temporary, right there. Perfect. Alright, nothing to do over here. Excellent. You are relieved. And we can demolish this. Drought's coming. Okay. In 3 days. No telling how long this one's gonna last. Well, that might have been an easier way to go. Just up this way. Oh well. It's gonna be an interesting challenge adjusting for that. I think I have a way to do it, but... Now, we also are going to want to build stairs here so that we can extend this path out. And do some stairs here. I was like, is anyone going to cut these last 2 trees? Apparently, yes. These are oaks. They are worth 8 logs each. So this is a great temporary source of wood. This is done now, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. And we're going to work a little bit on connectivity. Okay, awesome. We'll let that run for a bit. I guess I could have also got these from across the river, which we had like immediate access to. In fact, we might just go ahead and do that. Extend this path out a little bit. And throw down a lumberjack flag right smack dab next to these. And say like, hey, let's cut these trees down. Alright, there comes the drought. Got our little area safe and secure for now. This is going to drain pretty fast, and then these are going to stop growing. I don't love. And that's what the levee project is for. And why we're working so hard to harvest all these random sources of wood. Alright, so as far as population, we have 2 free beds remaining. Not a ton of kids. It looks like we're kind of hitting that wall there. I don't know that I want to increase the population though until we have this levee done. Because we need that consistent supply of wood. And being able to hold the water in that area is going to be hugely important for supplying that. I love that we're harvesting trees from the top of this hill here. So good. I still got another 1.6 days left in this drought. Pretty intense. One thing that we have been doing is just accumulating science points, though. And one of the things that we wanted to do was unlock this double platform, which we can now do. So let's do that. Thirsty. Still plenty of water, though. So, not sure why he's so thirsty, but that's okay. And the thing we're going to use these double platforms for is actually bringing our main path out and connecting it up to the levee once it's done. Get some water, bud. Plenty. Yeah, it might be a good thing to eventually put one of these in. Just so we can monitor, like, how much water we have. Alright, drought ended. That's good. I tell you what, this dam here has worked wonders for us. We've been managing to save enough to not completely screw ourselves, which is great. Alright, here comes this. That's going to refill our area here. It actually flooded us out a little bit there. But we're good. And there we go. Perfect. Alright, we finally got some trees growing in this area, which is awesome. The lumberjack over here has something to do, getting a consistent supply of lumber now. Something renewable. That's going to be absolutely vital. Absolutely vital. And the pine trees, they're worth what? Two logs? Yeah. I do still want to put a floodgate in here at some point. So that's still something in the back of my mind. But yeah, really just excited to see this levee project coming to a conclusion. A long time coming. And we have unemployed, so let's go ahead and add a couple builders. We'll make this happen a little bit faster. Alright, this is actually going to start holding water in this section as soon as they finish this levee. Gotta love that. Alright, there we go. Now it's going to be functional as a dam at this point. But we do want it to finish the rest of this, so. Especially these squares right here. That'll make it like super functional. And this should go a little bit faster because it's all levees instead of like levees and dams, which dams are a little bit more expensive material-wise than just the levees are. There we go. No more leakage. It's all getting funneled through the dams here. So now, when we have droughts, this area and like a chunk of this should also remain hydrated because this will be held right where it is. And it's like up at this level, which is great. It'll also have the benefit of hydrating a lot of this and keeping it thus. So the nice thing I'm noticing here is that installing the levees and stuff hasn't caused this to lose power, which I thought for sure that it would, but I guess not. Almost there. Well, guys, I certainly didn't think that we were going to be building a giant levee structure in the very first episode. But there you go. And now we're starting to get chestnut trees growing. So now we need to start looking at... And actually, some of the hydration, because we raised the level of this, is now spreading up into this area, which is pretty impressive. To get it to climb a level like that, yeah, we do like that. So we're going to go ahead and make our stairs here and extend our path across. Not like all the way across, because I don't know how far over this goes necessarily. I mean, I guess I can figure it out real quick. Okay, so this is where the next thing would be, it looks like. Wait, this is gonna be a challenge. And a double platform and a single platform. We're gonna want stair, stair, stair. Connect that up. And path. We can actually go right underneath those stairs. I'd prefer if it was connected up, but I don't see that being possible. And since it's a ring and not a main road, I think it's fine to kind of leave it disconnected like that. In fact, we should probably go ahead and work on this now as well. And you know what? We're going to get rid of that. This guy right here. Don't need that. And we're going to go ahead and build a new one here for now. And we're going to demolish this one. Plus all of this janky road that we just don't really need. Okay, I cannot delete the natural staircases. That's good to know. We are going to go ahead and plant some more carrots. We're right along here, though. And we'll just let that run for now. Alright, now that the levee's done, we can also kind of consider housing. So, what we would like to do is go a level up. We definitely have the science to unlock this double lodge, so let's do that. And we're actually going to start over here. How do we want to get this stacked up is the question. And I'm thinking... usually we go ahead and offset the entrances for these. I'm wondering if maybe we shouldn't do that in this case. Also potentially I don't know how I want to start this. I'm thinking maybe over here. We'll do the first one here. And we need a double platform to get to that level there. Although, you know what? Let's actually start here. We'll get rid of this, and we'll get rid of this for now. We still need that double platform. And we can do a stair up on this single platform. And we can round the corner on a single platform. We can do a stair right here. So this path will terminate in the stairs and go up to our first double thing there. And that should be good. The other thing we should start looking at is some of the other amenities, like the shower and stuff. I think that's probably going to be an important thing to unlock. So let's look at our well-being stuff. Yeah, it only costs 50. Contemplation spot costs 100. So let's go ahead and unlock the shower. And see about providing at least one for our beavers to enjoy. Let's actually make a couple of these. Alright, we got some sunflowers growing. So we need storage for those, obviously, also. Yeah, the large warehouse is 250 science. We don't have that. So we will be sticking with the medium warehouses for the time being. So we're going to drop this one here. And maybe do another one here. And we'll actually move carrots over, I think. Okay, so it's asking what it should be storing. We're going to have it store sunflower seeds. Does it mean it's not connected to a path? Oh, because you don't have stairs yet. That makes sense. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? But yeah, that makes perfect sense. Just need to finish the stairs, and then that will be good to go. Okay, second warehouse is built. We're going to assign that to carrots. And we're going to tell this one to no longer accept goods, because we want to move this. And we're just going to go ahead and demolish it, even though it's not empty. Those goods will just kind of sit on the ground, and that's fine. Those will get cleared up eventually. No worries. Okay, perfect. We now have these platforms made. So let's extend our path over those. And we can demolish this weird little side path. Which I truthfully kind of hate. I wish there was a way to demolish this stuff without confirming. Like specifically in the case of paths. It'd be lovely if we could just, since they're free to build anyway, if we could just demolish them without the confirmation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and plant some more trees in those areas. It looks like it's all chestnut in that particular area. So there's that. And I want to look at moving the forester up here. That's going to mess up my ability to plant pine trees, it looks like. So I guess we are not moving the forester at all, which is alright. We do actually want to plant some more pine trees in these newly fertile areas. And see if we can maybe squeeze those out. If they end up not working, then we'll just delete those areas and that'll be fine, but I think it's worth a shot anyway. Since they're giving me a little bit of the hydration thing, we'll try. Clearly we'll be able to plant a couple maples back here. And I think we're going to move the lumberjack flag up here. we'll put one here anyway. And I think potentially one here. Alright, and that will let me cut everything. We can then demolish this one and plant another maple tree right here. Okay, perfect. Alright, beaver well-being has reached 7. They are loving the showers. That's great. We are very glad that they are finally getting some showers. We're also going to start building some paths here with the platforms. Kind of filling in some space. Being able to connect things up and construct some things on little random spots that we otherwise wouldn't have access to. Okay, we'll start there. Alright, yeah, lumber, we're doing great. We actually have quite a bit. Planks, we're, we're struggling to keep up, but better problem to have than the lumber problem. Alright, how much is a floodgate? Okay, drought is approaching. Floodgate is 150. There's also a well-being thing that I was hoping to get my hands on for 150, wasn't there? The contemplation spot's 100. At this point, let's go ahead and grab this. And we'll go ahead and drop that right there. Let's look at the beaver diets. Okay, they've now got sunflower seeds in there. So they're loving that. I'm eager to see how this drought goes, because it should hold water all the way up to here. I want to see how much fertile land we have when this water is gone, because it'll tell me how far out to plant the maple. Okay, nothing left to do up here, it appears. Oh, there's one random tree we can't get to. Crap. Okay, Might as well go ahead and demolish this. And for right now, we're going to get rid of this also. Alright, we've got some maple trees growing, which is amazing, because they provide just an absolute ton of wood when you cut them. That's 6 per tree. Take a while to grow, but that is a-okay. And we have managed to cut most of this. Did I not tell it to cut this? No, it is outside the cut zone, believe it or not. There we go. Somehow we missed that one. We'll let him get that. .5 days. Yeah, like I said, I want to see how much fertile land we have with this levee, and we'll plant maples out to that point. I'm thinking I'm going to do another levee across here, maybe a bigger one, and retain even more water for us. It'll keep bad water contamination from flowing in this direction. Not that that's an issue, but just in case. And yeah, it'll just like hold lots of water back for us. That's a bigger project we're not tackling just yet. Okay, perfect. Our corner is done. The cool thing is the water just flows right underneath all of this. So this isn't interrupting water flow at all. But we can actually build paths and structures on it. And same thing's going to happen over here. Don't worry about that. That's not a big deal. Dogs bark. Alright, we've got our well-being up to 8. That contemplation spot has made a difference. So we're definitely happy about that. The drought started. Alright. Already drying up here. Okay. Alright, and now it's going to retain all of this water. And pretty soon we're just going to watch all of this dry up. It looks like these ones might not end up making it. Let's go ahead and cancel planting area here, here, and here. We gave it the old college try. Looks like water typically reaches everything else, though. What happened to him? Hungry. Okay, well, there's plenty of food for you, bud. Okay, so yeah, we can't expect the hydration to go even past this. These die in 11.3 days. Looks like it's 5 more days of drought, so those should survive. But yeah, the big levee project just got moved up in importance. And there's our dog again. She does love to bark. Okay, so let's go ahead and plan out this levee right now while the water is not here. Okay, so this is on a road. The next one is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next one's gonna go right here. So we'll take levees right along here. And we'll do another levee here. One of them here. I'm going to say if there's only one space, also a levee. And everything else, probably dams. Yeah, that should do. And then we're going to need some double platforms to connect up to this. Our paths. Alright, we'll go from there. Once this is constructed, we'll see how far the water goes out this way, and we'll keep working in that direction. But that's the next thing here. Actually moving pretty darn fast on it, actually. Lots of available lumber, so that does help. And I love that this is working. It's keeping the majority of our lumber situation well hydrated and alive. We also have access to water on both sides of our original dam now, so we can keep everyone not thirsty. And we're actually down to just 3 beds left. So let's build another one of these double lodges. And it will require another double platform and a path. So that bit is pretty easy. Looks like our main holdup here is going to be planks. How much horsepower does this take? 50 horsepower. And this usually produces like 80 something. Okay. Something to think about. So I'm hoping we can finish out this drought before we call it a night. We do have just a few minutes left of the stream. So we've made some good progress here. We've got food in a good place. We've got water in a decent place. Science clearly we need to up our game there. Got some unemployed beavers anyway, so it'd be a great thing to start working on. But we've managed to get a lot of connectivity through here, fairly organized as far as how the community is laid out, and yeah, it's been going pretty good. And dang, they are just cooking on this levee project. Absolutely cooking. Guessing these only require logs, and hence they're just like getting after it. And 2.1 days left. Yeah, no doubt next time we have a drought, this is going to be a whole thing. We will probably actually take down this one and replace it with double platforms. There's no sense in having like a secondary dam and levee system. Although it's already constructed, so maybe we'll just leave it. Yeah, now if I came any further out with the levees, I think... yeah, it'd basically be building it right here. So we'd have a bad water source flowing right behind, which is not what we want. Not at all. And it'd be a really, it's actually two bad water sources that would be flowing right behind it. So yeah, that's probably as far out as we're going to be levying, at least for this initial river. Alright, and this guy says he has nothing to do, but there's two more trees. Also somehow did not get in the initial cut thing. I grab those and then we can delete this. Alright, so let's officially get rid of that. Okay, so that's done. And like we cleared all the area here except for this one tree. It's just in a bad spot for us to try to get to. And they cut these down while they're not hydrated, so that's not great. I mean, they're covered by the forester, so that doesn't really matter. Alright, so the drought has officially ended. We're waiting for that water to start flowing again. It does take it quite a few minutes to find its way down these channels. Yep, and it does flood us a little bit for a minute or two. Quickly refills behind the first levee here. Yeah, and here you can see the bad water is, it's getting pushed down by the regular water, but it's flowing right up against the edge of the dam because there's not water flow coming out here right now. Because this is really just blocking that flow for the moment. Kind of cool. Gotta love the water physics in this, like, really good. But yeah, so that's the conclusion of that drought. We've survived several of them, thankfully. Definitely have improvements to make on all of the systems. This levee is going to be the big one for just keeping all of our lumber hydrated, even during droughts. But yeah, I think we've done very well so far. Definitely dealt with any challenges that have come our way, and I think we're at a good stopping point. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. I appreciate everyone watching and just enjoying what we're doing here, and I think we'll probably do more of it, because like I'm just really having a good time with it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Till then, stay safe.